What we was talking about.
Whatever.
Try that body shot.
It don't matter. I'm gonna stop you. I'm gonna stop you. That shit gonna be easy work. I promise you. It don't matter. I'm gonna knock you out, bro. You been hurt.
That's fact.
You got hurt by getting bull. You got hurt by getting bull. Yeah.
You got hurt by a Campbell. You got hurt by a Campbell.
When have I got hurt by a Campbell?
And you got hurt by Campbell.
Pull that up.
And you got hurt by Campbell.
When? We see you get wobbly, Lay. We see you get wobbly.
Errol Spence was right there watching this fight. As soon as this stoppage happened, you walked out. What was your message to Errol Spence tonight?
He was at my fight?
Yeah.
Now that boy said he wasn't gonna never. I won't. I've been calling him out all day. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll go up to 154. Maybe if Spence get his tail out his butt, he'll fight me. You know what I mean? Whatever. You know what I mean? I will whatever.
Oh, well, everybody know who I want next. I want Terence Crawford next.
You're going to make that happen?
Huh?
You're going to make that happen?
Oh, definitely. That's the fight that I want. That's the fight everybody else want. Like I said, I'm going to get these straps and I'm going to go over there and take his shit too.
All right. Errol, congratulations. Terrific fight this evening.
Thank you. Man down. Strap season. I know what time it is, baby. Terence, I'm coming for that motherfucking belt.
Fight fam, what up, though? Welcome back to the Mic Check Podcast. This is T-Word, the People's Champ. Thank you for tapping in. Today, we're talking about Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford. But before we get into the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You know we appreciate that feedback. And hey, if you're feeling generous, tap into the Cash App, $THAMICCHECK 12. That's the Mic Check 12. All right, so without further delay, I've been hesitant to drop a video on this topic simply because we've seen enough pump fakes in this particular saga between Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford actually getting into welterweight supremacy and getting an undisputed fight that I just couldn't believe the news that came out. It wasn't sudden, but I guess it wasn't surprising, but it was sudden. We'd heard that talks had resumed between these two, and Errol Spence had gone as far as saying that he was in pretty consistent communication with Terence Crawford. This information came out on an interview that he did with his lady friend. I think she's his fiance, but she definitely is the mother of his son. He went on her show and did an interview and talked about talking to Terence. He also expressed how important it was for him to get this fight, as it was the only fight he was focused on, and that's why he'd been out of the ring. So that was kind of confirmation for me that he was going to move mountains and, hell or high water. He was going to do his best to get Terence Crawford in the ring. And if it meant getting on the phone and having a conversation, it was happening. A couple weeks later, I get a notification from ESPN stating that the fight was on. Now, obviously, we've been down this road before with these notifications from ESPN and then other people like Mike Coppinger, aka Cappinger. However, this time I did a little bit of diligence and I looked at other sources, including ABC, which is connected to ESPN, but not exactly. So I looked and I went to find just different sources, and I was able to find 3 or 4 to confirm that the fight was actually a real thing. And there were some additional details released. And one of the most important things I think that many of us saw was impeding the previous negotiations was actually included. So it wasn't material terms or they've come to an agreement. It was specifically they've agreed to fight. Here's what the purse looks like. Each fighter's going to get 8 figures. That's minimum 10 million, right? So they're going to get $10 million each. It didn't mention a pay-per-view split, but I believe initially they'd agreed to 65-35, basically because Spence was unified and Crawford is coming in with the single belt. I can't really think of anyone who will find that unfair when you have an obvious A side and a B side. There's even been clips of Terence Crawford at some point saying that, he wasn't worried about the money to fight Errol Spence, and it turns out that was the only thing getting in the way. Now, that being said, I'm reluctantly getting my mind wrapped around the fact that this is finally going to happen July 29th. I didn't see a location yet, but all I know is, Las Vegas, T-Mobile Arena. That's what I'm seeing. But again, this is all kind of unofficial. So I'm only going off of what these couple of articles had. And I don't know if any of this information is going to change. But if you recall, that's where Gervonta Davis just had his last fight. What's funny is PBC have been booking dates and holding venues in different places. So I think they've been behind the scenes trying to work this out. If the rumors are true, They got back to conversation sometime around March, and here it is May, and they're finally getting this agreement put out to the fans. And now you've got time to do a short media run before they go into final camp, and then time to come back and do another media run the week leading up to the fight. So we're literally, 8 weeks and about 9 weeks out. So this bodes really well for us as fight fans. This is going to be an opportunity for us to see two of the best at 147 pounds battle for all the belts. And I heard something interesting, and I'm going to share it here. If this is the fight that we all expect it to be, what if they settle business at 147 and then they do a rematch at 154? Now, obviously at 54, it won't be for titles, but it's still going to be two of the best fighting. Like, ultimately, that's what matters. I mean, the belts do matter in terms of weight class, ownership or dominance. But when you got two really good fighters, they're going to cross weight classes to make it happen anyway. And some of the best fights were people that moved around weight classes, not necessarily just stuck in the division just to fight for titles. So I think we can appreciate that when they actually do get in the ring. It's been a long time coming, and us as fans are going to be treated to something amazing, something special, and something sweet. And you guys already know who I have in this fight. We're going to analyze this and break it down. I'm going to try and review and figure out different ways that both fighters can win. But y'all know, for me, it's already man down strap season. So we're just going to see how this thing plays out. Again, pretty happy that this is going to happen. Still got my excitement a little bit tempered because I don't want this to be a pump fake. But ultimately, I'm ready to see it go. So we'd love to get you guys comments. This has been T-Word for the Mic Check Podcast. Until the next time, I'm out.